Picture a powerful invisible river of wind circling the Earth high above us, the Atlantic jet stream. This fast-moving air current, found 10 to 14 kilometers above the surface, shapes our weather in ways we're only beginning to grasp. The jet stream forms where warm tropical air meets cold polar air, creating a high-speed channel due to the temperature difference and the Earth's rotation. It acts as a boundary, separating cold northern air from warmer southern air, and its strength depends on how sharp that temperature contrast is. When the difference is large, the jet stream is strong and straight, quickly moving weather systems from west to east. This conveyor belt is why Europe's weather can change so rapidly, one day rainy, the next sunny. For Europe, the North Atlantic jet stream is especially crucial, dictating whether we get mild winters or harsh ones, and shaping our summers. Its position and strength determine the path of storms and the character of our weather week to week. The jet stream is the engine behind Europe's famously unpredictable weather. It's a constant, unseen force, key to understanding the dramatic climate shifts we're now witnessing. As the jet stream changes, so does the story of Europe's weather. Understanding this river in the sky is the first step to understanding our changing climate. In its healthy state, the Atlantic jet stream is Europe's weather conductor. Flowing west to east, it steers rain and wind from the Atlantic, giving Western Europe its green landscapes and mild climate. The jet stream acts as both a conveyor belt and a barrier, keeping cold Arctic air north and hot southern air south. This balance keeps temperatures predictable and prevents extreme weather from lingering. Weather systems move quickly. Rainy days are soon replaced by sun, and storms don't stick around. This constant movement is why Europe's climate has been so moderate and reliable for centuries. The jet stream's steady flow limits the duration and intensity of storms and heat waves. It's the reason a rainy Monday in London can be followed by a sunny Wednesday. This variability is actually a sign of stability. But as the jet stream loses its rhythm, that stability is now in question. Europe's dependable weather is under threat as the jet stream's tune begins to change. Recently, scientists have seen the Atlantic jet stream slow down and develop large, looping waves called Rossby waves. Instead of a fast, straight river, it's become sluggish and meandering, with huge north-south bends. This shift is caused by a weakening temperature difference between the Arctic and the tropics, as the Arctic warms much faster, a process called Arctic amplification. The weaker jet stream wobbles, creating slow-moving waves that can get stuck for days or weeks. When this happens, weather patterns also get stuck. A heat wave or rainstorm can linger far longer than before. Under a northward loop, you get relentless heat. Under a southward dip, endless rain. The old pattern of quick-changing weather is breaking down. Now, a week of rain can become 3 weeks of flooding, and a few hot days can turn into a month-long heat wave. This new persistence is driving Europe's wild weather extremes. The jet stream's change is ushering in a new era of weather for the continent. One dramatic result of the jet stream's meanders is the heat dome. When a northward loop arcs over a region, it traps hot air, creating a lid that bakes the ground day after day. High pressure dominates, skies stay clear, and the heat intensifies. The jet stream blocks cooler weather, leading to record-breaking heat waves, like the UK's first 40-degree summer in 2022. These aren't just warm spells, they're extreme events that strain infrastructure, dry out landscapes, and spark wildfires. Dried soil can't absorb rain, so when storms finally come, flash floods follow. Heat domes create feedback loops. Wildfires release carbon, worsening the warming that weakens the jet stream. Agriculture suffers, energy grids are strained, and vulnerable people face deadly risks. The once rare severe heat wave is now a regular feature of European summers. The jet stream's wobble is no longer abstract, it's a direct threat to society. Our climate's mood streams are being written in real time. While heat domes scorch one region, southward dips in the jet stream bring the opposite relentless rain. These troughs channel moisture-laden air, creating low pressure and days of heavy downpours. When the jet stream stalls, rain systems linger, dumping months' worth of water in days, like the catastrophic 2021 floods in Germany and Belgium. Rivers overflow, infrastructure is destroyed, and landslides follow. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, so when it rains, it pours even harder. The combination of stuck weather and extra moisture means floods are more frequent and severe. Farmland is ruined, cities are disrupted, and water supplies can be contaminated. The psychological toll on communities is immense. Just as heat domes redefine summer, these deluges are transforming Europe's flood risk. The jet stream's new behavior is rewriting the rules for water and weather. The link between the jet stream's erratic behavior and climate change is now undeniable. Arctic amplification, where the Arctic warms much faster than the rest of the planet, shrinks the temperature difference that powers the jet stream. As the jet stream weakens, it becomes more wobbly and prone to getting stuck, fueling extreme weather. This creates a feedback loop. Heat waves and wildfires release more carbon, melting ice accelerates, and ocean currents shift, all further destabilizing the jet stream. Human-caused warming is making the jet stream less stable, leading to more persistent and severe weather events. The system is feeding on itself, with each extreme event making the next more likely. We're caught in a cycle where climate change drives jet stream instability, and that instability drives even more climate extremes. Understanding this link is crucial. It's not random, but a systemic response to our changing planet. The jet stream is both a symptom and a driver of our new climate reality. Europe's weather is now a tale of two extremes, heat and flood, often happening side by side. Large, slow-moving jet stream waves mean one region bakes under a heat dome, while another is drenched by floods. In 2021, Germany and Belgium faced deadly floods while southern Europe battled wildfires and record heat. This new pattern creates huge challenges. Governments must prepare for drought and flood at the same time, straining resources. Agriculture is hit hard. Some regions face drought, others lose crops to floods. The predictability that farming and planning rely on is vanishing. For the public, the volatility is confusing. One summer is cool and wet, the next is scorching. But this chaos is the clearest sign of a changing climate. The jet stream's wobble means your weather depends on which side of the wave you're on. Europe's climate expectations are being upended, and the old rules no longer apply. Scientists agree. The jet stream's new behavior is here to stay, and will likely intensify as the planet warms. Climate models project that Arctic amplification will continue, further weakening and destabilizing the jet stream. Europe should expect more frequent, longer-lasting heat waves, droughts, and floods. Summers like 2022 could become the norm by mid-century if emissions aren't cut. Southern Europe faces chronic drought and heat, while Northern Europe risks more floods and occasional heat waves. The continent will be divided into zones of fire and flood, with the dividing line shifting unpredictably. Predicting the exact timing and location of extremes remains difficult, but the overall trend is clear. Without decisive action, today's wild weather is just a preview of a much more volatile future. The Atlantic jet stream is sending a clear warning. Its instability is driving Europe's wild weather. This isn't just science, it's the reason for the heat waves, floods, and unpredictability we now face. The jet stream's shift is a direct result of human-driven climate change, and it's reshaping our world. Understanding this is key to preparing for the future and adapting our societies. We must act urgently to cut emissions and build resilience, or the extremes will only worsen. The jet stream is a canary in the coal mine. Its message is urgent and clear. By listening to the wind, we can better understand and respond to our changing climate. The fate of Europe's weather depends on whether we heed this warning and act before the wobbles become permanent.